Bismillah. Peace, everyone. And we are live in Zewdy Zen Zone. Let me know how the sound is, if the background music is okay. Peace and blessings, my golden sister. So great to see you again. Peace, Cosmo. I'm glad that you have acknowledged the goldenness, because I have been in that sun quite a bit, pretty much as much as I can be. As you know, it's winter, so I do what I can when I can. If we have warm days, sunny days, I take advantage. Okay, we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch currently, which is pretty cool. Okay. All right, well, I don't want to take too much time, but you know, the chat will populate and we can just get started. The sound is live. All right, great. So let's just start by giving thanks to our Creator. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. O Almighty God, Allah, we thank you for allowing us to witness and experience your marvelous creation, for the opportunity to connect for a higher purpose, rising above the chaos of this wicked world. May we be uplifted, may we find balance and get grounded. We love you, we thank you, we praise you. In your holy and righteous name, in the name of your risen and exalted Christ, and in the name of your divine reminder, leader, teacher, guide, and Jesus in our midst today, we pray. Ameen. Peace and blessings. Salam. Good evening, or good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Zewdy Zen Zone, and welcome back if you are a regular here. If you're new here, again, welcome. This is a virtual sacred space where we come to discuss all things healing and well-being, as well as the power of positive and forward thinking, and knowing that all of those things are interconnected. They all have to do with one another. And you know, this space started developing pretty much during COVID, when a lot of people were feeling uneasy, anxious, afraid because of the uncertainty and, you know, the viral threat, the economic threat, things just falling apart. But we don't have to fall apart while this world is, you know. And as long as we nourish and take care of and protect our minds, then we'll be okay. Because it starts here. You gotta protect your mind, protect your spirit, and know what is necessary in order to keep moving forward. So I'm very happy to be here in the Zen Zone, and providing a little light in the darkness, you know, and I'm really thankful for all of you who are here with me, paying attention, giving me your feedback and interacting with me, engaging, because it's really a beautiful thing that we have here, and people from all over the world viewing, which is really cool. I'm so thankful to God for you all. Speaking of which, wherever you are, please let me know in the comments, age, sex, location. I'd like to know where y'all are at. As usual, I'm 30. I am female, and I am in Georgia in the United States. Even though I know I look like I've been on vacation, right? I've been in that sun, like I have not been playing, okay? I told y'all, I'm getting tan in the wintertime. No doubt about that. Yes. Well, what else do I want to say? Oh, so I do want to shout out people who have donated. Also, just to, I guess, accommodate those of you who do donate, I don't want to shout you out if that's not what you desire. Somebody did reach out to me and said, you don't have to say my name. All you have to say is praise be to Allah. So that is what I will say. Thank you so much for your contribution, for your donation. It really means a lot to me. I really appreciate it, and it helps a lot. So if you are interested in supporting the channel, the content, the creator, these are the ways right here. Offerings, you can do it through Cashapp, PayPal, Venmo. If you're viewing on YouTube, you can do it through Superchats. And if you would like to be shouted out, you can let me know along with the donation. So, I want to respect your wishes where that's concerned. So, again, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I want to know, how has everybody been since last week? Thinking about emotional and mental health. Has the information been helpful at all in really being aware of your emotional and mental states? I know it's been helping me, just doing the research on these topics and then reflecting on it and really being present with my thoughts and my feelings. I feel that I've been doing that a lot more efficiently because I have more information and understanding of how these things work. So, when I'm feeling something, it's a lot easier for me to travel in my thoughts and trace where the feeling is coming from. All right, let's see. Oh, wa alaikum salam. Via the hub is in the building. Peace, Jaleesa. She says, hey girl, how's your day going? My day is going wonderfully. I'm just really thankful to be alive and to be here in the Zen Zone with you all. And I'll share a little bit about my day and how my mornings have been going as of late. Something really cool that I've been doing on a more consistent basis. Okay, 30 female in Texas. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, Mansoor. Mansoor's in the building. Peace. I'm telling you, we are international in here. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. By the way, those of you who are watching, if you're here on YouTube or wherever you are, Mansoor makes really cool music. You should check him out. I've been listening the past couple of days, and it's just real chill vibes. I really like it, and I'm really happy that he's here in the building with us today. So thank you for coming through. Let me see what is going on the Facebook. Yeah. Today we're going to talk about stress and the different effects of stress and how to alleviate it, because we touched on it a little bit last week with dealing with emotional and mental health. We touched on it. We talked about what happens in the brain chemically, but today I want to go a little deeper into it. Okay. I see my sister Allison is in the building as well on Facebook. And I want to mention something about her as well. She says, beautiful. I'm just your reflection, my sister. Wa alaikum salam. All right. So, lately, I have been getting my day started on Clubhouse. I don't know if you all are familiar with the app. I'm sure many of you are at this point. But there are different things that are going on that app. People connecting for all kinds of reasons and purposes. And, you know, it can be a productive place as long as you know what you're doing on there and know why you're connecting with folks. So there's a room that I go in every morning at 7:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with these wonderful ladies, my sister Allison Muhammad, Sister Adela, and Sister Angela. They are the moderators of this room when a black woman speaks. And what we do is we have these "you are" statements, so these affirmations that we say to ourselves. And after that, we go through a guided visualization meditation, and it's so wonderful. And Sister Adela leads us in that, and also gives us an offering of a mantra. I want to make sure I'm saying it correctly. It's a Chinese mantra, Dao Guang Jia Shen, which I believe she said means source light vibrates and explodes. And I feel that I've been benefiting from doing these "you are" statements and the guided meditations at Monday through Friday in this room on Clubhouse, because it's a beautiful space with a lot of like-minded individuals coming together and, you know, empowering ourselves and really getting our day started on a very high vibe. It's just it's wonderful. Yeah, so that is something beneficial. If you're on Clubhouse and you find me on there and connect with me on there, I'll ping you in that room so that you can be down with us every day, Monday through Friday at 7:45 a.m. It's a beautiful experience. I've been loving it. I strive to do it consistently. And yeah, you know, a lot of different people. I've invited some of my friends, and they've been enjoying it, tuning in and participating. So it's a great thing. Yeah, Jalissa, please check it out. Find me on Clubhouse. I'll follow you back and I'll ping you into the room. Okay. So let me make sure I have all of my notes, because I have notes here on my phone as well as one of my little notebooks. Okay, so stress. Stress is something that we all experience throughout our lives for different reasons, different factors, you know. And stress in and of itself is not a bad thing. It's just when it becomes a chronic thing. So it's a reaction to different life experiences, some family life, work life, everyday responsibilities. But sometimes when we have like serious life events, like some new health diagnosis, financial instability from losing a job, maybe war, the death of a loved one, and things like that, you know, those are more severe factors that cause stress. Now, our central nervous system is what is responsible for the fight or flight response that we experience. And when we have a perceived threat, let me go back to recap on some of the stuff that we talked about. Well, yeah, fight or flight response. When we have the stressor or the perceived threat or fear, when it is gone or when it stops, then our central nervous system is supposed to go back to normal. But if it fails to do so, or the stressor doesn't go away, then it continues. We still continue to have that response. And that's when stress can begin to become an issue, because it doesn't just affect, our central nervous system. It starts to affect other parts of our bodies. So here are some physical symptoms of stress that we experience at times. So headaches, tension headaches. Stress can trigger or intensify tension headaches, and emotionally you become worn down and can eventually become depressed. Sometimes you can experience heartburn or acid reflux, because when you're stressed, it causes your stomach to, it causes an increase in the production of stomach acid. So it can ultimately lead to heartburn or acid reflux. Insomnia. When you're stressed out, oftentimes you may have trouble falling asleep and staying asleep. It increases your breathing, rapid breathing, or shortness of breath. And the muscles in your lungs start to tense up, so it becomes harder to breathe. Long-term stress will weaken your immunity and make you more susceptible or vulnerable to infections. Stress hormone increases your heart rate because it's trying to get the blood to the vital organs quicker. But when it does that, it can cause your heart to pound and over time increase your blood pressure, which will damage your arteries and increase your risk of heart attack. Also, when you're stressed, your liver releases more sugar into your blood, and over time that can increase your risk for type 2 diabetes. And when it comes to fertility, for both men and women, it can make it difficult to conceive because it interferes with your reproductive system. Stress does. Decreases libido. It can cause women to have missed periods, or making your period late, or sometimes stopping it altogether, depending on the severity of your stress. Also, when people are really stressed out, they might overeat. Some people overeat, others won't eat enough. Stress affects everyone differently. They may abuse drugs, alcohol, which is a drug, and also withdraw socially. All right. Let me pull this up. Yeah, so those are just some common symptoms and results of stress, how it affects the body. Let's see. So when it comes to the reproductive system, I wanted to kind of expound on that, because when it comes to men and their testosterone, initially when you're stressed, there's an increase of testosterone. But over time, when the stress is a chronic thing, it actually causes testosterone to drop. And that will then interfere with sperm production and can cause erectile dysfunction and impotence. And also, it can increase your risk for infection of the prostate and the testes. Yes, and for women, it can cause irregular, heavier, or more painful periods, And for women who may be going through menopause, it can magnify those symptoms. Stress can. So, as you can see and hear, this is something that we need to get control of. It's something that we need to be able to manage. You know, there's a difference between managing stress, dealing with it, and suppressing it, and trying to distract yourself from the fact that you're stressed. You never want to do that, because it doesn't make it go away. It's still there. It's still affecting you, and it might not be so obvious at first, but it's affecting you. And over time, if it's not what is the word? I mean, dealt with, but I was thinking of another word. If it's not confronted, if you're not really dealing with the stress, it's going to break you down slowly but surely. And as you just heard me read, in so many different ways, stress, it will affect pretty much every system in your body. So now I would like to talk about just a few ways that can help manage stress. One, I don't have these in a particular order, but one that I really wanted to emphasize, and I guess I'll say it first, is learn to avoid procrastination. I find, and I have found in my life, that oftentimes the reason I would start to really feel stressed is because there's something that I am supposed to be doing. There's something that I need to do, an obligation, whether it is to myself or, something that was work related, that I was avoiding or putting off for one reason or another. And that was a burden, a burden on my mind. And then it gets closer to the deadline or something like that, and I'm just like, just feeling almost immobilized by the fact that I haven't tackled this thing. So learn to avoid procrastination. Procrastination can lead you to act reactively, leaving you scrambling to catch up. This can cause stress, which negatively affects your health and sleep quality. So something that can help is making a to-do list. I recently have gotten into making to-do lists and giving myself more of a schedule to have more structure in my day, so I can check off the things that I need to get done. And it's such a relief. It really helps out. And give yourself realistic deadlines and work your way down the list. So work on the things that you need to get done today, and give yourself chunks of uninterrupted time, as switching between tasks or multitasking can be stressful itself. That's true. You want to give yourself a sufficient amount of time for the things that you have to do, so that you're not rushing or trying to do more than one thing at once, because that can actually be unproductive. Another thing I want to emphasize is learn to say no. Take control of the parts of your life that you can change and are causing you stress. So say no more often. If you cannot do something somebody asks of you, because oftentimes we don't want to offend someone if we say no, or we want to help somebody with something, but if it's too much for you to juggle with all the things you already have to do, it's not fair to yourself. So just learn to say no. If it's too much, say no. So be selective with the things that you take on. Laugh. It's hard to feel anxious when you're laughing. It's good for your health, and it's some way to help you relieve stress. Watch something funny, a funny YouTube clip, or spend time with people that make you laugh. write things down. If you can write even the things that you're stressed about, it can help just getting it out of your head and onto that paper. You don't have to keep the paper if you don't want to, but it helps. But also writing down the things that you're grateful for. And I know that is a recurring thing here, but it is so helpful for a lot of things. Gratitude may help you relieve stress and anxiety by focusing your thoughts on what is positive in your life. Gratitude is a must. Gratitude, when you start your day off with gratitude, it really helps to set the tone for your day. That's why prayer is something that really helps me to manage stress, and that's what I want to say next. Prayer. I understand that not everyone believes in a higher power, and I respect everyone's belief or lack thereof. I've mentioned this before, but I grew up not believing in God, not believing in a higher power, and so I didn't pray for most of my life, and I didn't have that as something to combat the different trials and difficulties that I went through. And I'm thankful for the experience, because now that I believe in God and that God is my foundation, and I start my day every day thanking God, it's such a difference. There's such a difference in that, starting my day that way and connecting with God in that way, than not having that. And then going to God with, the things that I'm dealing with and the troubles that I have and the things that bring me stress. It really is a burden reliever to give it to God. Just speaking from my personal experience, knowing life without that and now having life with that. Aromatherapy. So that could be with burning resins, which I love to do. I love to burn especially frankincense. That's like my most favorite. And I might be biased because my family being from Ethiopia and Eritrea, that is something I've been familiar with my whole life, because they use that. They burn frankincense during like coffee ceremony, and even in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, which I've been to a few times with family members. They walk down the aisle swinging the thing, itan as they call it, and it's just such a great scent, but it really will raise the vibration of a space. So frankincense, myrrh, I like amber, so good. Palo Santo, which comes in the wooden sticks, which I've run out of, but it also comes in a resin. Now the resin is really expensive. I know I've mentioned it on this channel before because I love it. But Palo Santo, the resin, a pound of it is like almost $90. It's like $80 something, and wherever I find it, it's that price. Whereas frankincense I can find for like $15 a pound, and I don't think one is more precious than the other. They're all very precious and gifts from the earth. Resins, they're hardened tree sap, if I'm not mistaken. Well, they're a hardened liquid that comes from trees. So these are gifts from Mother Earth to us, and they can really help us in a lot of different ways. But burning these resins is something that helps with stress relief. It's very calming. It's aromatherapy. If that's too much for you because of smoke, if you don't want to deal with smoke in your space or something like that, you can always do oil diffusers. And you can get frankincense oil, myrrh oil, Palo Santo oil. The oils, they're a little more expensive because it's a smaller amount, but the extraction I think the process is just more, I guess it just takes more to do that. So you can get that, but here are some other scents that you can find and put in an oil diffuser. Lavender, very calming. Rose, bergamot, chamomile, sandalwood. Oh, I love sandalwood. Ylang ylang, orange or orange blossom, and geranium. So it can really help to decrease anxiety and improve sleep. I know people who use oil diffusers at night in their bedrooms, near their bedside, like on the nightstand, and they say that it really helps them to relax and then eventually fall asleep. So yeah, aromatherapy. Another way to manage stress, or to help you manage stress, is maintaining a healthy diet. Not everybody's gonna go plant-based or vegan, which I understand. You can't make anybody do something they don't want to do. But if you really want to improve your life, the quality of your life, and help manage stress better, you gotta have more plants in your diet. Okay? You gotta have more raw fruits and vegetables that are cooked, but not so cooked that they cook all the nutrients out. So steamed vegetables, a light saute. You might want your vegetables in a soup, but you gotta eat more plants, because plants are electric food, and we are electric beings. So eating these electric foods really fuel us, and they help us to live healthier, and everything is connected. So when you're nourishing yourself on a physical level, it really helps you to be able to function everywhere. The brain-gut connection, we've talked about that before, is a very crucial connection that I think doctors are now becoming more and more aware of, just how crucial it is and how connected the gut and the brain are. If you're not thinking the right thoughts, if your mind is very imbalanced, then it doesn't matter what kind of food you're eating. You could be eating the best foods, but your body's not going to properly metabolize and digest all the nutrients because of what's going on here. So it's really important to think of healing and stress management holistically, because everything's connected. They say aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. Again, everybody is different, so this may vary. Some people can function well, optimally, on 6 hours, even 5 hours, but they're probably not stressed. They're probably not too stressed. I find that I do better when I have around 7 to 8 hours, and part of me really thinks that women, we need more rest than men. I don't know. Somebody pull up a study on that, the biology on that, but I don't know. That's just coming out of my mind. Don't take me on that, because that's not an actual fact. That is just something that I think, based on conversations with men and women. So, but if anybody in the audience has any truth or facts dealing with that, please share. Please, I would like to know. So I see some people on Facebook writing in Arabic, and I don't speak Arabic. I don't read Arabic, so I'm not going to be able to respond to what you're saying. I really don't understand. Oh, Mansa, you're amazing. Yes, Mansoor, you know about that frankincense? Hey, Mansoor, if you got the plug for the frankincense where you at, hit me on the side and let me know so we can talk about it. Let's see. Cosmo says, that's true. A lot of men's stress can cause butt problems. You stay dropping knowledge. 40 points on the 40th episode. Oh, you know something? I actually messed up with the title. The last episode was actually the 40th. This is the 41st. So I made a little error when I was creating the stream, but I think I fixed it. So okay. So minimize your use of caffeine and alcohol. Now, I know that coffee in and of itself is not completely bad or harmful. A lot of people experience benefits from drinking coffee. I used to be a very avid coffee drinker, like regular coffee. As I mentioned before, my family's from Ethiopia and Eritrea, so coffee, like, that's the birthplace of coffee, so to speak. So I was drinking coffee for a long time in my life. But what I will say is that when I started cleaning up my life, as you know, I have not always been striving to be upright like this. When I started to clean up my life physically, spiritually, all of that, I stopped eating meat. I was quitting smoking and drinking. All of a sudden, coffee no longer agreed with my body. Before, I could drink black coffee, the most bitter coffee. I didn't need cream or sugar. You know, I would drink it like that sometimes, but I didn't need it. When I started cleaning up myself and I would drink coffee, out of nowhere, I started to feel anxious. I would feel anxious and jittery no matter what. It was like I would drink it and just feel so bad. And I was like, what? At first, I didn't know what it was. I just thought, you know, I was in a very transformative, transitory part of my life. So a lot of things were happening. But it never failed. Every time I drank coffee, boom, anxious, jittery, and it just felt terrible. And I was like, wow, like this never happened before. So, you know, I did some tests to find out if it was actually the coffee or not. I went months without drinking coffee. It also had some other effects on me physically that I'll get into in another episode, because that deals more with femininity, and I want to have some episodes where I focus on that. But anyway, I stopped drinking coffee for some months, and then I would drink it again. Boom! Anxiety, jitters. So I stopped drinking coffee, and I was very sad about this because I really loved coffee. I mean, yes, I was addicted, and I had just like a sentimental connection with it because my people and all that kind of stuff. And I went on a search for some kind of alternative, and I found one, and it's called Bio Coffee. So if you'd like to know more about that, link with me on Instagram, and I'll talk to you about the Bio Coffee. That's what I drink now. No caffeine, no acid. It's great. So yeah, if you are dealing with stress and not dealing with it well, you may want to consider limiting or eliminating your caffeine consumption. And that's not just coffee, that's energy drinks, that's supplements. Some people take it in that way. Exercise regularly. Okay, we need to exercise anyway, but one of the benefits is that it helps you to deal with stress, because when you exercise, your body is releasing those feel-good hormones, and you know, the dopamine and endorphins. You hear about runner's high when people go running and they feel like this euphoric sensation. You know, you can get that from doing some real exercising. So if you're not into running, that's okay. You can find something else to do. Especially nowadays, we have the internet, we have YouTube. You can Google exercise, aerobics for beginners, or whatever it is that you want to do. Yoga, dancing. Just make sure you're exercising on a regular basis. What do they say? At least 4 times a week. I mean, if you exercise daily, that's great. If you do a little something every day. I strive to do a little bit of yoga every day and stretching, and I dance. I be cutting a rug in here, okay? I dance every day, and it definitely helps to improve my mood and maintain it on a higher plane. So yeah, move your body. Move your body. It's important. Stay socially connected so you can get and give support, especially during this time where many of us in the world are experiencing quarantine. We're not really able to get together with our people in person, which really sucks. It's very hard on a lot of people. So people are stressed because of that. And, this is one of the reasons I'm very happy to be talking about this, because I know that a lot of us can benefit from these things if we really apply them. So I'm really happy to be here in the Zen Zone, because this is a way for us to connect and talk. I like to see what you guys got going on. Sharing your feedback, your experiences, and I share from mine. And, even if we don't know each other in person, we can be like a family. We can be here to get support and give support to one another. But for the people that you do know in your personal lives, make sure you stay connected with them. Text them, call them, FaceTime them, message them, see what's going on. Let them know that you're there for them. And, I'm sure there's somebody that wants to be there for you. Just reach out and stay connected, because we're not meant to be so alone. Periods of isolation may be beneficial depending on what it is you're dealing with and maybe having to focus on something specific. But we are communal beings. We are meant to be with people. We're meant to be together. That's how we are. Especially those of us, the original people, like, we are communal. We're about our community. And sometimes there are certain things that we've learned from living in the West that makes us more individualistic in our thinking, and that's not right. It's not natural. We're meant to work together to be, what's the word? I mean, we're all interconnected. We're connected, so we help each other. We're there for each other. Where I lack, you may be able to suffice a need, and vice versa. All that kind of stuff. We're not meant to be by ourselves. We're not meant to go through things alone. Not all the time. So, yeah. I wanted to stress that. I really miss my family, yo. Like, I'm here in Georgia, right? My biological family, everybody's up in New Jersey and New York. The people that I grew up with, they're all up there, and I miss them dearly. But we talk, we text. I got group chats with my parents and my sister. I got group chats with my family all over the world: Ethiopia, France, California. We all, connect and stay connected. We keep in touch. And it's a good thing. It helps us during these crazy COVID times. And, help manage stress. Make time for rest and relaxation or self-care. Okay? We need to prioritize that. Again, the world of the West will convince you that you don't deserve that. That it's not important, that it's not productive, but it is. It really is. We have to learn to have a balance of a work life and the life when you're not working. And, the way that things have been set up is that we're working all of the time and barely have any time to do anything, like to relax, to decompress, to wind down, and we need that. We need that to be functional, productive beings. We're not supposed to be on go all the time. It's not good. It's not productive. It's something that will bring you quicker to your grave than you need to go. So, making a to-do list and scheduling, planning things can help, manage your time so that you can make the time to take a bath or I know the world is a little different right now, so you might not be able to do the same things that you were able to do before. Like, I was gonna say, like, book a massage, stuff like that, getting your nails done, or something, something that is self-care, in the name of self-care. Heck, you can even do it yourself. See, that's what I like to do for the most part. The things that I can handle, I do, because I like to save my money, not spending frivolously. So once a week I like to do a foot soak. You know what I'm saying? And that's my self-care, and it's so relaxing. It says to me, like, I care about me. I am prioritizing my health and my well-being, and it's just showing myself that I'm worth this little thing that, it means a lot to me. So, you can do that yourself too if you want to. Yes, and learn meditation techniques such as deep breathing. Again, you can find things online on YouTube. There are so many guided meditations that you can look into to help you relax, to help you decompress, to help you relieve yourself of stress, all kinds of things. But even if you just start with breathing deeply, that right there is so key, because when we're stressed, oftentimes, as I mentioned earlier, we have rapid breathing going on. We're not taking deep breaths. Sometimes when we're feeling stressed or anxious, we even hold our breath and don't realize that we're doing it. Oh yeah, something I didn't mention, but I meant to, which is something along with the breathing. When we experience stress, oftentimes our muscles tense up. I know when I was really stressed out, something that I used to do often was like lift my shoulders like this, unintentionally, involuntarily, like I wasn't aware of it, but I used to be like this out of the stress I was experiencing and being uncomfortable. And from years of doing that, I got so much tension in these shoulders. Oh my goodness. If I could get professional massages like on a weekly basis, I would treat myself. But I need to save my money, and I just can't let anybody touch me. So I invested in a little gadget that massages the upper back and shoulders, and I use that thing like every other day. Okay, and it has been helping so much, because I'm worth it. Okay. I'm worth the self-care and the stress management, because I don't want to be stressed out here in these streets or in this house. I am doing what I can. So that was my list. But if anybody out there has any suggestions or recommendations of what you can do to help manage stress or help alleviate stress, something that I love to do as much as I can, whenever I can, is go outside into the sun. Get me some sunlight, okay? As you can see, I'm sun-kissed, even though it's winter time over here. But we've been having some really beautiful days. Like, it's been in the high 60s. Today, it even went to 70 degrees. I am like so thrilled by that. So I was out there in the sun from this morning up until like the early afternoon. I was just getting as much sun as I can, and just soaking it in and giving thanks. Just, and it's something that almost instantly elevates my mood. Getting sunlight. It's something that I notice, something that I can feel. When I get sunlight, I just feel more joyful. I feel more lively. I've been glowing from the inside all day, from the earlier clubhouse room I told y'all about that I was in, and then being outside in that sun. Like, it just felt so perfect. It felt like, man, I would like to have more days like this. But the forecast for the next couple of days here says that it's gonna rain for like the next week and some change, which is kind of crazy, but it is what it is. I enjoyed it as much as I can, or as much as I could. Actually, it looks like it changed. It looks like for the next week it's gonna rain, and then Wednesday it'll be sunny again. So that's great. Okay, I did a lot of talking. I pray that you learned something from what I shared today. I pray that the Zen Zone is a space that you can come to decompress from the day, if it is in fact the end of the day where you are. If it is the beginning of the day where you are, I pray that this was a great start to your day, and that some of the things that I shared will stay with you and have helped you become a little more informed on how stress affects you and what you can do to manage it better. I really feel honored and grateful to be serving in this way and sharing in this way. I feel really good, and I just feel very loving right now, and I pray that you can feel it through the screen, that the love and the warmth and all the good stuff is permeating through the screen to wherever you're at. Something I want to mention that don't really have anything to do with this, but it's, I don't know, just something that I'm really pleased with, is that I have been striving to practice more consistently Reiki, which is an energy healing modality. And so I practice on myself, I practice on my cat, on my plants, and close friends. And my homegirl the other day was having wrist pain because she'd been diagnosed with carpal tunnel some years ago in that same wrist. But lately it had been bothering her. So I was like, all right, let's do this thing. So I started practicing, and instantly she could feel the energy flowing to her wrist, and she was telling me everything. She's a very sensitive person as well. So she was telling me, like, first she felt like a heaviness, then she felt like a tingling, and then her other hand, which was like a couple of inches away from that hand, she felt the tingling in both of her hands, and then the pain completely disappeared. It just disintegrated, and it was gone. And I'm like, oh my God. Praise God. So that is something that I want to do more. I've been into it for the last few years. I want to say the last 3 or 4 years. I've been learning about it, getting into it, and I'm only Reiki level 1 attuned, but hey, it's working. So I'm really thankful for that. And maybe one day I'll share more about that, and maybe do some distant healing when I get proficient in it, inshallah. So yeah, is there anything that anybody wants to share before we wrap it up here? Is there anything, any feedback, any comments, any thoughts about what was discussed here today? Let me check on Facebook what's going on over there. Aw, people are liking the background. I love that. I love the background music too. Oh yeah, so this one, I am using the frequency, oh, why isn't it popping up? Oh, here we go. Well, 396 hertz, which is associated, oh, there we go, which is associated with the root chakra and the color red, and helping to dispel anxiety and fear, overcoming that. So I thought it was appropriate, because we're talking about stress, which is very closely related to anxiety, and I wore the red, you know, because your foundation, man, is important. Yes. Thank you, Mansoor. I pray that you have a wonderful day yourself. Jalissa says, sorry, Zewdy, that app, was it House Party or Clubhouse? It's called Clubhouse. Dagim says, belly breathing really helped me. And he's recommending the book, The Power of Now. Okay. I think I've heard of that book myself, but I haven't read it. But I will look into it. Well, I don't want to take too much of your time, everyone. I appreciate you. This has been wonderful as usual. I love coming here every Wednesday to get together with you. Yeah, if you enjoyed this, you can share it, like it, to help it grow. If you feel inspired to, you can donate, support. I appreciate it. And that's about it here. It's been an hour, and I don't want to take too much of your time. Why is this not showing me? Okay, yeah. I've recently started streaming on Twitch, but I don't really have followers on there like that, so I don't think anybody watches me there yet. I got like 7 followers there. It was lovely to see you. Thank you. Thank you. It's lovely to have you here with me in the Zen Zone. Aw, I would stay. I don't want to take your time. I have little things to do around the house as well. Just daily tidying up. But this is actually the wind down for the day. The sun is going down, which for me is like it's time to take it easy. Cause when the sun is down, I'll be ready to go to sleep. But I don't go to sleep this early. It's 6:40. Oh yeah, 6:44. Oh yeah, so it's been an hour. Yeah, I'll probably go to bed like the next 3 hours, maybe, inshallah. I like going to bed early though, because I get up early. Anyway, I don't want to ramble. Thank you all for visiting Zewdy Zen Zone. If you have any health healing topics that you want to hear discussed in the Zen Zone, please send me a message either on Instagram or Facebook. Well, leave a comment on Facebook. If you use Twitter, you can send me a message there. Yeah, I really appreciate you all and being able to share this knowledge and this information, and I pray that we all will benefit from it and are better for it. And if all hearts and minds and spirits are clear, we can wrap this thing up and exit the Zen Zone. I'll just wait for a second because I know there's kind of a delay when it comes to when you hear what I say and when I see your messages as well. Thank you. Just want to share some love and positive vibes. Good session. Thank you. I appreciate you. Relaxation. That's what I intend to promote here. Thank you. All right, y'all. Well, I don't think I have anything else to say. Oh, I'm participating in a new moon fast. I follow this really cool brother, Kenzu Neferhetep, on Twitter, and he always encourages us to do born day fasting and new moon fasting, and I'm participating in the new moon fast. If you want to know more about that, follow me on Twitter, and I'll tell you about that as well. All right, y'all, we are now exiting the Zen Zone. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you all. And hopefully, inshallah, I'll see you all next week. And if you want to connect with me outside of the Zen Zone, you know where to find me. Just look up Zewdy.